Hi guys, welcome to a little bit of woo woo. I'm your host, Jill Thomas. There's actually three of us today. It is there you go. Oh, please don't leave. Okay, anyway, I love cats, you guys. You guys, I love cats. So, you know, just mine might show up too, although she's a little more shy. I'm so excited to announce my guest. You guys, somebody recommended her in the comments, and I'm like, I better check her channel out, and I did. And I'm like, yeah, everybody's gonna love this lady. Everybody's gonna love Kelly. Kelly has over 25 years as an energy healer. I know you started doing this when you were like 12, right? 3, 4, something like that. Yeah. Energy healer, psychic, medium, helps guides others with insight and compassion. She's a very popular YouTube channel. Kelly the Mystic Next Door. I will put her link in the description so you don't have to like write that down really quick. First things first, you guys, I'm recording this on January 6th at 9:30 a.m. Pacific. I don't know about Kelly. I can say this for me. I am not a doctor, a lawyer, a stock portfolio manager. We're going to talk about politics and probably a little bit of the markets. But we're not qualified to do that. I don't know about you. I'm not a lawyer. Are you a lawyer, Kelly?
No, I'm not a lawyer.
I'm waiting for somebody to say, yes, I am a doctor. Thank you very much. But that hasn't happened yet. You guys, this is for entertainment purposes only. You shouldn't listen to us. Always use your own intuition, your own wisdom. And just know that whatever you're feeling and thinking is probably more valuable. And I love the idea of people using their own wisdom when they're coming up with things. So Kelly, oh my gosh, Kelly, I've been off for like 10 days. And I noticed a couple of things happen in the world.
Just a few.
Oh my god, you guys too. I want to say this quick. You notice that my background's different. I love you guys. You guys in the comments are so sweet. A couple of people pointed out that the positioning of my painting made it look like I had antlers. And I didn't see it. And then when I did, that was the only thing I could see. So we had to move things around. So I appreciate you guys are so nice, being nice about it, because there was a not nice way you could have said that, and I made some adjustments. Anyway,
I saw a video, an image like that in the White House that looked like somebody had, let's call it horns.
Oh, horns. Okay, horns are good. Yeah, it's pretty. I felt I didn't see it. I was like, what are they talking about? And then I look and I went, oh yeah. Oh, those are totally antlers.
I have something coming out of the top of my head, but I don't know what it is.
It's my halo. It's our halo. Anyway, enough of us talking. What's going on? We're going to talk about 2026, but obviously the most pressing thing that has just happened is what's going on with Venezuela. Can you talk, Kelly, about what you're seeing with what's going to happen with Venezuela, with the people of Venezuela, the big cluster, whatever that's going on there? Well, I don't know how you describe it.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I am of the belief, call me a conspiracy theorist, but
I love conspiracy theories.
I think that nothing is what it appears.
You think?
Let's put it that way. I think nothing is what it appears. Now, I always saw that there would be a like a slight incursion, whatever that is. And I guess that's what happened, right? Dipped in, dipped out. Now, I know we're controlling oil refineries and things like that. But I always felt like there would be kind of like a quick blast of something happening. I didn't expect it to be over the last weekend. I don't know if anybody did, but it tracks, right? It tracks with them because they're in this shock and awe kind of thing, right? We're just going to keep everybody on their back foot. But I think Maduro knew.
Yeah, I think you might be right. His body language too. You guys saw it. Yeah. You guys saw it. I mean,
him like
he knew.
Mugging with his captors and all that kind of thing. I think he and his wife knew about it. I think it was an exit strategy for them. And I think nothing happens with 45 without changing money changing hands, right? So I think that there was something there. I mean, I could be wrong about all of this, but I just have this hunch that it all just sort of fell into place much too easily, and boom, it's sort of done. Like, I think any other country that was invaded would have been. I think there would be more activity that we'd be seeing right now.
Yeah, I felt that way too. I felt like there was some kind of conversation happen, and here we'll give you this and we'll forgive this, or you'll
Yeah.
go in front of a jury, but there'll be some kind of a problem, and
Yes.
or I'll pardon you. I don't know, but I definitely felt like there was some backhanded whatever. But I will say that personally, what I was seeing, and tell me if you or it's okay if we don't see it the same way, but I saw this ultimately being good for the people of Venezuela, but it wasn't going to be good like tomorrow. It was going to
Yeah.
take some time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think he was a bad guy. I live
Yeah.
in Denver, Colorado, and we're one of those states, you've probably heard about it, that had a lot of Venezuelans that were taken
Mm.
in the last year. And I've met some of these people, and some of them were, I mean, in the crosshairs, direct crosshairs of
Wow.
this government, literally like being chased, down the street and over the fence and, with guns drawn. And so not good. These are just ordinary people who, if you look the wrong way, then you're in trouble. And
Mhm.
so I know that it wasn't good. But yeah, t- you said you think that, yeah, I think there's going to be a little adjustment. I also think that what's her name? Delcy. I don't remember her name. The vice
I can't think of
president.
it. I know who you're talking about.
Uh, Vice
Somebody's gonna put it in
president.
the
I
comments. Somebody's
noticed
typing it in there right now. I know it.
it's awfully close to Tulsi, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, that's so
Um,
terrible.
but I feel like she was in on it as well. I think she was in on the deal. And I've read a few things. I know people, maybe I'm entirely wrong, but I feel like it just seems a little too calm right now for something that was such a shock and awe, invasion.
Yeah, it's sad. We're making light of it, you guys, but I'm sure that you had the same reaction. I woke up and I cried when I saw it in the news, and I was so sad for those people who had to suffer for this, especially since we didn't go over there with boats full of food. We went over there with pew pews, and it's sad. And of course, we didn't. The person who's in charge isn't the person who won the Nobel Peace Prize. That felt a little dickish, but it's also
Right.
on brand. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's also on brand.
Well, and I will say too, I feel sorry for the military members because I personally know some of them as well. My good friend's daughter is like second or third in command on a destroyer. She went to the Naval Academy, and she's a mom of a little baby and was ready to get out. And then boom, back in like August, they were like calling everybody up, man your battle
Wow.
stations. And, I feel like they're being taken advantage of too.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I've
It
had
is
a
a tough.
few military clients over the years, and what I've always been impressed by is how devoted they are to their job and how devoted they are to each other, and the camaraderie that's there. And they do expect these things to happen, and the sacrifices that the
Yeah,
families have to go through.
yes.
Both men and women who are married to, they get their dream job, and then their partner gets moved to another
Oh, of
base.
course,
It happens
yes.
all the time, you guys.
Absolutely.
Um, what's let's talk a little bit about 2026. Obviously, that happened. What do you think is going to happen with the administration as a result of this? Because people rightly are, I don't know, I guess the word is pissed.
I mean, I think I have always felt that there is, um, an underground movement of people on both sides of the aisle who are trying to sort out how to remove this. I'm going to put it mildly and say thorn in their side, but really kind of neutralize this rogue regime. Really, that's what I see. Maybe other people don't see it that way, but I think that there are people who love their country and see it being dismantled, and on both sides of the aisle, and who are working on a strategy now. I really don't know. I don't have timing. I don't have any of that
Yeah,
stuff,
timing
but
is tough, you guys. We always struggle with that.
yeah,
I struggle with that.
I thought
everybody
it would
struggles with
already
that.
have happened.
I thought so
Yeah.
too. Honestly, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna be done before the end of the year." Because his health, his colors, when you look at his aura, you guys, those of you who can see it, try it. His is very easy to see. Not everybody's is.
Yeah.
It looks like a person who's, you know, pounding on the final door, you know, but he's still here. So.
I mean, even his physical coloring and everything is just
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
it's interesting because he's gone with more and more of his, clown makeup as they've gone on because he kind of during the campaign, he neutralized that a little bit and his coloring was a little lighter and, whatever, but then he's back to the full grease paint. And I think they're covering something. But I think that I kind of have always seen like a how do I put this? Incursion in the White House, like an inside, like military type people
Really?
coming in black. I always see them in black,
Interesting. Okay.
taking taking him out with cuffs. Now, there's an alternative to that too that sometimes I see, but I don't know why. I always feel like the other one is at least I see it because I think it's something that they've talked about, and so it's out there in the universe.
Yeah, yeah.
But I also see the health situation deteriorating, and I kind of see it more as an excuse, like, you know what? And I think it would be really hard for him to admit this, but I'm not doing well. I think something actually could happen, or more likely, I feel like he might say, "You know what? I need to go for treatment and peace."
See, now that's what I've seen happening. I've seen it happening that way. I've seen it happening as I need to take a vacation, you know, or even throwing Melania. Melania's sick. I don't know. I mean, just like I'm not
Yeah.
the weaker one. It's something else is going on. I'm just gonna
So
take a little vacation. He never shows up. Never comes back.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I could see that very, very easily too.
But the other
So
scenario is, you know, it makes sense too. So especially
but
if
I feel like,
laws are
we
being
talk about
broken.
timelines, and I feel like we've jumped so many timelines in the last 6 months, it's not even funny because anyway, just, that's my take on it, but anybody's guess.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Timing, you guys. One thing I will say is that I do see, and I'm sure Kelly will get your take on this, but I do see a lot of things being restored, a lot of like the cracks in the foundations of our Constitution being plugged up, and things that in a lot of ways this administration, like it or not, has shown us where there were some legal loopholes that should have been plugged a long time ago,
Yes.
frankly, but we didn't know. We didn't. Nobody ever tried it. Nobody FO'd, FAFO'd. Nobody
I agree.
FO'd.
I mean, I try to tell my family members who are so mad, like, "Why is he doing this?" I'm from Washington, D.C. originally.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Many of my
That's cool.
family members still live there and work in the government.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
dad did, and my father-in-law was an FBI agent, and
Cool. I bet he has
like
some
I'm sure
stories.
he's
Yeah.
rolling over in his grave.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
But
sorry.
so anyway, I always say to them, I say to my family, it had to happen this way. He's here to reveal where our weaknesses are. He came along to show us. And they're like, you're wrong and blah 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 blah. And anyway,
And
so
maybe we are. Maybe we're wrong.
maybe
Maybe
we
we're
are wrong.
wrong. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. It's okay to be
And he
wrong.
is revealing things. I mean, he really is. We need the education department restructured. We need healthcare restructured. There are so many things that really the election system needs restructuring,
Yeah, I personally would love to see the way student loans are handled restructured because that money, well, in my experience, went to the schools and the schools just jacked the prices because they could. Because
Oh, I think
suddenly
so.
on the backs of these poor kids
Right.
who with their psychology degree will never be able to pay off a
No.
$200,000 loan.
Mm-mm.
And it's
And I've
crazy.
seen for probably 15 years, I have seen higher ed, just higher ed as a general rule changing. We really
Yeah.
need uh we're working. I remember reading one time we were operating off of what they call is a 17th century Prussian model where the cream rises to the top. Now that's for like lower ed, but and then everybody else, kind of goes and works in the fields and you go off to college. Now, we in college, I feel like they have just continued like you need to spend all of this money in 4 years to learn
Exactly.
all of these things
Yep.
that are not relevant to the world today. And and then you're saddled with all this debt.
It's
And the
crazy.
debt that's undischargeable.
Undischargeable, even with leaving the world. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm still recovering from a cold, so you're gonna see me sipping
Oh, sorry
some
about
stuff.
I had that awful cough a while ago and
I'm
hung
sorry. Some
on.
of you guys watching all have it right now. I'm sorry about that, you guys.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna give you a hint. Sudafed is not a bad thing. Just saying.
I discovered that too. Yeah, just
God bless it.
just a
Anyway,
sleep a little
just
sleep.
just a little, just a little bit of Sudafed. Okay. This is definitely definitely did not sponsor me. Okay. Let's sorry, I'm sorry.
Darn it.
Damn
Right.
it. I'm never gonna get into that sweet, sweet Sudafed money. Okay. What else do I want to talk about? I love what you're saying about this and I do one thing I will say too that I feel is really true with him is that he's not doing anything behind the scenes. Like and both sides, you guys, I am definitely think the Democrats are fall here too. Both sides would do a lot of things behind the scenes, and he does things right in front of the screen, so you know what he's up to. And I gotta say that there's a part of me that's like, okay, now we know what's really going on.
Mm.
Let's talk about some of the I say it all the president's men, but half of them are women. All the president's men here.
Toadies?
I don't know.
Okay.
I love toads. They're so cool. They're so pretty. Okay, so let's talk about Bondi. We haven't seen her in the news in a bit. I don't know if she's got a black marker or something. She's in her room. I don't know.
That's funny.
For entertainment purposes, allegedly with this black marker. I don't know for sure that's what's happening. Yeah. Anyway, what do you think's going to happen with her this year? Anything?
Oh gosh, I think she is I think she's scared. I think I feel the fear on her, and I mean you can almost see it in her face. But I feel like she knows she's in deep. And I feel like she was tapped not only to protect 45, 47, whichever number you choose. I think she was also tapped. I get this feeling maybe her brother and some other people in Florida where she's from are also implicated in some of these things. And she was just sort of I mean, I think she was a true believer. I really do. But I think now she's a true believer the other way, like, oh my God, I didn't know the half of it. And now I think so I could see her leaving voluntarily sometime this year. I don't really feel like it's right away. I feel like it has to get really, really bad and the heat has to be on before she'll jump because I think they've got things. I think he has things on everybody.
Yeah, I think that's how this is played out. I think he does. I think it's interesting because you see somebody like Thomas Massey. You guys, I know he's really conservative, but I see the things that and sometimes when I hear him speak, he's like the only adult in the room, and I'm going, okay. I might not vote for him, but I do like some of the things he says about what the administration is up to. They don't have something on him,
Yeah.
They don't have something on him. You can tell who they don't have something on.
That's right. That's right. Or he doesn't care.
Or he doesn't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. What about Patel?
Ooh, Patel. I think he's going to be sidelined real soon. I think he's going to be sidelined. I think well, first of all, we know that, POTUS is a racist.
Really? You heard this?
Doesn't really
What made you think that
very much. I know. I'm sorry. I'm just telling it as it is. But I really feel like he's treading on thin ice with some of these investigations that have gone kind of wobbly, and also the attention that he's drawn with, taking jets off to the girlfriends and the house and whatever he's done. I just don't think I don't think he has the amount of grace that some of the others have in the office. Let's put it that way. With 45, he doesn't have as much leeway.
Yeah. What about Hegseth?
God,
I
I
know.
think
His
headset
energy when you tune in is so chaotic, you guys. Try it
it's
just for
awful.
fun. It's
I will say this. I have always seen him as a real like kind of hanging on to the end until recently. I feel like I think he's starting to see the chaos that that 45 creates, and that some of these comments and shooting from the hip, and I feel like he's starting to realize that it might rub off on him a little bit, but I don't really see him going anytime soon. Do you?
interesting. I thought he was going to go soon. I thought he and although I was thinking that, but then this Venezuela thing, I think may have saved him.
Yeah.
I absolutely saw Patel gone, and I do see Bondi leaving before the end of the year. Like quietly, like I need to go. Like
Yes.
my husband's sick. I don't know, something like that. You know, I need to. I'm just going to go back
Wish
to
you were
Florida.
married.
Right. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I was seeing with her, but it'd be interesting to see how that plays out, because this cast of characters, I do see somebody, you guys, if it's one of you guys in the comments, let me know, because I'll totally buy it. I see somebody making like a Topps baseball playing card of all the president's men, like trading
Who
card
goes
deck.
first?
Huh?
You mean who goes first? Or
No, just like a deck of these cards, because all these people have these massive characters. They're not, quietly in the background and boring, like except for maybe Hassett, but these people are like have wild personalities, much more so than most. Did you guys watching? Did you even know who the FBI director was for the last couple of administrations? I mean, most people had no clue, but now this guy's in the news all the time. And,
I paid attention only because of my family history. But you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's definitely true of like the Fed. The Fed.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you guys know who the Fed chair was last?
Yeah. Not for a while.
Not for a while. Okay.
No.
So let's shift gears a little bit here. I want to talk about the weather events. Anything that you see coming that people can prepare for. I know that timing is tough, and unless we can tell you date and time, it's not necessarily that helpful. But is there anything in particular that's on your radar, weather events wise?
Oh, sorry, our kitty friend is here. If you see a tail. Weather events. Okay. Full disclosure, I don't typically pick up a lot on weather events, although I had a flash recently about you're in the Pacific Northwest. I kind of feel like there'll be some big some flooding and so forth coming up this year. I really feel that pretty strongly. And in fact, even up the coast, I have a sister in Alaska, so I pay attention to that. I feel like we may be seeing some more volcanic and earthquake activity there. I will go back to a dream that I had a year ago, December, where I woke up from a dream where I was dreaming all about Santorini, which I didn't know where it was at the moment. I kind of thought Italy, but I had a dream about Santorini and was describing in the dream about how we were sitting on a sunken caldera and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why in the world? And then weeks later, the island was in last January, the island was evacuated because they were having so many earthquakes and they thought that something was coming. So I will say I feel like that region, they're still waiting on a big one. And I feel tidal wave activity there. I don't know how soon that will be, though. I kind of feel like it could be a little bit out. And that's really about all that I get. I'm not really a big, like, I feel earthquakes coming and my tummy is, upset kind of thing. Yeah. What about you?
Weather is I'm with you on that. Weather for me is really hard to tune in. I see things, but it's like unless I can tell you when, it's like predicting the stock market. That's not helpful.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like there is something coming soonish in the San Francisco area in terms of an earthquake, but I don't see a massive loss of people leaving the planet. I don't see that. I see what I would call a big mess. So in terms of the Richter scale, geez, I don't remember from high school, like 7 in the sevens. I think it's going to
Yeah.
be a couple of
A
buildings
big one.
knocking over that'll be on the
Yeah.
news for every 24/7 for a little bit, but I don't see it being that
Mhm.
bad. I know,
I think you're right. As you say that, it feels, but, I'm getting a little ding, 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 like that feels accurate.
and it could be in the next, I mean, as soon-ish is what I feel, but I feel like I've seen that one for a while, and it's,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I've seen this 3 different earthquakes. I don't yeah, weather events are tough for me. Let's shift a little bit. There's something people are asking me about a lot in the comments, and it's the Affordable Care Act. What do you see? Do you have any sense of what's gonna happen with that? Because it's just a sad situation.
Whew. I
Yeah,
use the
nothing
ACA.
loaded about that
Mine
question.
went up. Yeah. Sorry, I have cat hair on my face. You couldn't see. The cat was
A cat hair
all
all
up
over
there.
my shirt,
Here he
so we're
comes
even.
again.
There you go.
Oh,
I love cats.
yes. He's a magnet
Hey,
to my
sweetie.
lap
There it
there.
is. There it is. Okay.
Okay. Um, well, all right, now I can't remember the
Oh,
question.
Affordable Care Act. Sorry,
Affordable
Affordable
Care
Care
Act.
Act.
Yeah, like I said, I use the ACA and I saw mine go up quite a bit, my premiums. I I think it will be corrected, but probably not until the end of the year. Maybe after midterms. I think that they're gonna come in with some things. And I think that's actually part of the reason why, it's a big part of the reason, a big reason why we're gonna see a shift in the legislature. I think that that's a lot of people on both sides of the aisle, both colors, use the ACA. And this is a burden. This is a big burden for families.
I mean, as soon as somebody
Guys.
doesn't make it to the hospital or doesn't make it because of they don't have health insurance, and we see that plastered all over news, things are going to shift, especially it's in a district that's under dispute
Yes.
or up for election. I absolutely hear that. You guys just listen. For those of you who are new watching, I am not a smoker. Something crawled into my throat over the holidays, and it's just hanging around. Okay, so I hope you guys don't know what I'm talking about. I hope that didn't happen to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And I wanna say, as you were saying that, it
mhm.
felt to me as if, you know, it occurs to me that, I mean, I think there are certain people trying to break it,
I
right?
know. I
And
agree.
so they want people to leave the system so that there is less money in the system, and, it's a problem, but I feel like that ship has sailed. I think that we have this the ACA is gonna be with us for a while or something better.
Or something better. I agree. I
Mm.
agree. I'm not sure that it's going to take until the end of the year. You might very well be right, but I absolutely do see them putting a stopgap in place and then
Oh,
working
good.
on trying to fix something with it. But yeah, I agree. It's, it's really sad because it's going to kill our hospitals
Oh, it's
or
gonna be awful. Yeah, I mean,
unalive our hospitals.
we're already seeing it. Haven't we
I
seen some
know.
hospitals close?
Yeah,
That's
it's so sad. Let's talk about, oh, do you want to talk about Russia and the Ukraine? You want to tune into that very unpleasant energy?
I will do it. Yes,
Let's do
yes.
it. Okay.
And again, I feel like I would've
You'll
I
have to
would've
take a shower after, but that's all right.
I would have lost that bet a long time ago because I really felt like it was gonna be, I mean, right after it happened, I felt like this was gonna be like, quote unquote, "a minimal incursion," like, in the senses I could s it's funny, now I look back and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I was right." But it felt like them nipping at the borders, like, just getting it, and but then I felt like that they would be pushed back out. Well, we can see that they've, they've nipped at the borders, and they're staying. So, anyway, that's just how I've been. But yes, let's ask away. Let's see what we get.
How long do you feel that do you feel like Putin's still going to be in charge at the end of 2026?
No.
Okay.
I feel like something's gonna happen this year, and like I said, don't bet the farm on it.
Yes, please don't.
But
Don't gamble at all. Put your money in the stock market. That's not gambling at all.
I feel like we're gonna see the 3 big leaders all
I don't agree.
go
Yes.
together. Like, it
Yes.
feels linked, right?
I
And I wanna
totally
say
saw that too.
Netanyahu, Trump, and Putin. Or
No, yeah, me too. I saw that too. Same thing. Those 3 and around the same time, but not like weeks, but
not
like
linked.
months.
They're all just it's like they're karmically linked. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
agree. I think 2026 we're gonna end with different leadership in those 3 countries. I agree.
And can I say that I have felt that, I am not an astrologer, but I play one sometimes on YouTube. I've started watching the astrology a little bit more, and we have some big events again this year, but some really like never before seen in our lifetimes events. And I feel like April is going to be a big turning point. A big turning point.
For individuals or for the world collective? What are you talking
All
about?
the above. I feel
Everybody.
like all the above.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's look at that for a second. So if April is going to be a big turning point, what do people need to do now to make sure that they are prepared for a turning point? Good or bad? I mean, good or
Well,
bad?
I
Turning
do.
points are
I mean,
interesting.
I've kind of always, I feel like you have seen this too. I've always sort of said, I've always felt that we need to, you know, have your go bag ready or whatever that is, or have extra goods, or have just in case systems kind of go down a little bit, or it's harder to find. I don't think that we're going to be starved. I don't think that sort of thing. But
I
I
don't
think
see that.
it'd be good to have have access to some canned goods or some, fresh water or something like that. But and so for me, it almost feels like, this final crescendo of crazy that may happen, in this earlier part of the year, this first quarter into the next quarter of the year. And I just feel like we ought to just be prepared. Maybe there might be some power failures and some, things like that. But I think it's a big reset. And that's what they're calling this year in astrology. They call it the Great Reset.
Interesting.
Yeah. So look that up. It's very interesting because we have
I will look that up.
Yeah, we have some pileups of planets. There will be 7 planets in astrology. I mean, in Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac, new beginnings, in on April 15th, tax day.
Okay. April, interesting. And you said April was going to be a turning point.
16th to 17th. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. But some interesting things. So I mean, and there are always correlations to world events. So we'll wait and see. And
I love what you're saying. And I love the idea, though, that we don't have to make a big deal about it. Just shove some boxes of stuff in your garage, grab a case of oat milk, make sure there's some water, or make friends with a neighbor who has a pool. If you live in Southern California, you know what I'm talking about. And it doesn't have to be
toilets. What is that?
Honestly, okay. So my dad was a building code enforcement inspector, and he used to give us a different advice than most people would about what to store for earthquakes. And he said you needed to have kitty litter, and I was like, I always have kitty litter for the same thing the cats use it for, because it's perfect for that.
Oh, really? So we can go in the kitty litter? There you go.
Well, we had, I mean, in my garage, I camp a lot, so we have a little portable throne, I should say, with a bag under it that you can use for that purpose. But yeah, it doesn't have to be something you worry about, but just throw extra supplies in the garage and kind of forget about them, and every few months check to make sure they're not about to expire, and there you go.
Okay, I had not thought about the kitty litter, but that's great.
I know I saw the cat. I know you got some right now, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Okay, I love what you said about that. Let's look at. Do you want to talk about the markets? You want to talk about markets?
Yeah, I can talk. I can talk in as much as I know, but I'm not as good as you. You seem to have a better handle on it.
Well, part of that is I will say that setting the intuition aside, this is a personal passion of mine too. So I personally know a lot because I've done a lot of research, but I love that. I love that stuff. And I think about it in terms of blood. And I know some of you guys watching, as I see in the comments, Jill, why are you talking about the stock market? It doesn't affect me. I don't own any stocks. It absolutely affects you because your company that you work for is on the exchange, and it's a flow of money. Do you see anything, I mean, up and down, obviously this is for entertainment purposes only. Talk to a stock portfolio manager before you look at this, but do you see any big, I don't know, reset in the markets?
Well, I feel like I've been predicting that for a while. So the answer is yes, I do. But I again, the timing of it is really difficult.
I know, right? Unless we
If I
can
were
say
to
when, it's
guess.
not really helpful.
I feel like, again, I do feel like it could be this year, but I kind of thought it could be last year too, and we haven't really seen that. So I'm gonna just leave it at yes. Because I just don't know. Sometimes I use my dowsing rods that we talked about a little bit before to narrow in on time frame. But I even think that energy changes. If you want, we can try it.
Absolutely. I would love that. I will say something as you're kind of getting ready, because y'all have been asking me in the comments about silver. And I will say, when I've tuned in, and this is the same answer I gave last time I talked about silver, is that it feels like a gamble. When I tune in, I feel like I'm putting money down on red at the casino. So I would just say, if you have silver or you have gold and you're looking at that, and also, God, most especially Bitcoin, which got down to 22 at Christmas, by the way.
Oh,
please, 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 please don't let that be your only investment.
okay. Yeah,
And
I would agree on that. I don't feel comfortable with that now. Maybe I'm just an old fogey and I just don't,
well, there's nothing. It's not a building. I can't see. Intel has a building. I can look at
Yeah.
Intel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will say with the silver, and we're going to use it. I will say one thing on the silver. If you guys want to see what the gambling market is looking at, look at how much a short costs on the silver right now. It's really, really high, which tells you that the marketplace thinks that silver is going to tank. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at something. Look at what the marketplace, because the marketplace is very often right. And so if you want to see, like, if a short is really expensive, it means the market is betting that it's most likely going to go down. So
you're talking over my head, but I will take that advice.
Somebody watching knows what I'm talking about. Is
Somebody
like, yeah,
knows.
she's totally right, or they're saying she's totally wrong.
My
That's fine too.
MAGA stepfather has been collecting silver blocks, or what do you call them?
Yeah, those I know. I see. I think that's different. That's a different investment, though. Like, if you're buying silver on, he's got something that's like, I love that. He's throwing it under his bed, right?
He's so, he's like, I want everybody to know the key to my, I want you to know that how to get into my safe and all that kind of stuff. And we're like, okay.
I love this guy. He and I could be, well, maybe not the MAGA part, but he and I could be friends, because
he's a good guy in many ways.
It's a very sensible thing. So let's talk about, okay, so your dowsing rods, can you give us a timeline? Oh, there's another thing I want to do on the dowsing rods too. Oh my God. I'm just, my head is clicking.
Please.
Okay.
And let me just show you really quickly.
Yes, please.
So I always, ask my guides and angels to come in, and I ask them, are they ready to answer questions? And that's a yes.
Yes.
When they cross, it's a yes. Okay. And when they go out, it's a no. Show us a no. There we go.
Love it.
Nice. I love it.
Oh my God, I've tried so hard. You guys, I've tried so hard to do the rods. I can't make it work. I love
they worked from day one for me, and I don't think that's typical. And so I was like, all right, these are a good medium for me.
Love it. Okay, so January.
All right, January economy. Is that what we're asking?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we have to be more specific, don't we? I don't know how those work. When a stock market, let's just say correction, because the correction is 15-20%, right?
Will a stock market correction occur in January? No. But it's a kind of a slow.
It's going to be an up and down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a slow kind of like, meh, it wasn't a definitive. Okay.
February.
Will we see a stock market correction in February? Slight, yeah. Look at that.
Could be 10-15%. Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's not a strong cross. Like, this would be a really strong cross.
Okay.
So it might start then. So we'll go to March. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Will we see a stock market correction in March? Bigger one. Bigger one in March.
Ooh.
Okay. So
So don't you guys don't go to cash and put your stuff under your bed.
Yeah.
But
things can change, and
just babysit your investments, I would say.
And April? Yeah. Look
Fine.
at that. Another big
There you
month.
go.
Okay.
April. Okay.
All right. Do we want to keep going, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's just finish the first half. May.
Okay.
Or you want to do June? Okay, whatever you want.
Let's go through June. Okay.
Okay, let's go through June.
Let's look at May. Yep.
Interesting.
And we'll go through June. Will we see a stock market correction in June? Yes.
You know what? Can I ask a question that nobody asked?
Please.
Can I ask a question nobody asked you guys? It's the only one person watching is going to care about this. Let's talk about the bond market, which is really a lot of markets. It's different treasuries.
Again, I am ignorant to this, but yeah.
Okay, well, we won't ask the guides for all the 2, 10, and TLTs in the 30s, but is the bond market going to do well in January?
Okay, bond market in January. Will the bond market do well in January? Oh, that's a no. That's interesting.
Okay, that's kind of okay. What about February?
All right, will it do well in February? It's kind of wimpy. So that's a soft no too, not great kind of
What
thing.
about March?
And March?
Okay, that would make sense that would make sense. So typically what happens is that when the stock market goes down, the bond market goes up.
Oh, okay. I know nothing about it, so that makes sense. So they're aligning. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe the only person here. Oh, no, don't put those away because I got another question I want. So I had a question that also nobody's asking. We can only say, just so that for the sake of not getting shadow banned, we can only say CK. Okay. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Did the person that's in custody for the
do the deed?
Yeah, do the deed. I don't think he did, but what do they say?
Okay. All right. Did TR do the deed? Did TR do the deed?
You know what? Does that mean he had a hand in it, but he didn't really do it?
Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Wobble, it's kind of like a maybe. There isn't really a clear answer. Did TR pull the trigger? Did TR pull the trigger? No.
Interesting.
Did TR agree to be a part of the plot?
Ooh. Oh, well, he's a kid. He's like a kid. It was 19, isn't he?
Yeah. So he kind of agreed to be engaged somehow, but he wasn't the one.
Okay, so is he going to get released? Can we ask that question? Okay. Is he going to? Because I see him getting released.
Okay. Will TR be?
He's got a good lawyer. Released. He's got a good lawyer.
Oh, big one. That's a yes.
Oh, that's a yes? Okay,
yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it swung wide so that it could give us a big swing back in.
Interesting.
It's weird. Because I
appreciate that.
I heard that he had. Oh no, it wasn't him. It was
Mangione's got a good lawyer. I think Mangione's got some serious good lawyership.
He didn't have his Miranda rights read, and they unlawfully searched his stuff, and so that's.
I think he's going to go to. I think he's going to be put away. But I gotta admit, I like his lawyers. He lawyered up.
I kind of feel like he might get a little bit more of a lenient, sentence or something could happen there.
Can I ask about the British royal family? Because you guys asked in the comments about this a lot.
Yeah. Like the Dowsing Rods or no?
What do you think?
If I don't know, I'll pull them out.
Okay. Do we feel like Charles is still going to be king before the end of the year, by the end of the year, or do we think it's going to be his son? I don't think he will be staying through the end of the year because I will say, if timing is at all a thing, I kind of get this energy of, I feel like his energy fading late summer, early, into fall. That's what I get. Interesting. Anything else on that? I just want to ask this question because we don't hear much about
if you wanna ask.
Yeah, sure, sure, ask, what?
Kate. What about
Oh
her?
my god, I know, her energy is so her when you guys, when you tune into her, her colors are so pretty. She's got
Mhm.
what do you think on that? 'Cause I feel like they've hidden a lot of stuff on her.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
She's really
that's
hard.
why I'm asking because I feel like she's, it almost feels like whatever she was dealing with, we don't know the form of cancer and all that kind of stuff. I feel like it was pelvic or something, but I feel like it's something that's just, um, being managed. Maybe not all the way gone, but being
Yeah.
managed. What do you think?
I kinda get the same sense, either that or they're just hiding it because,
Yeah,
here's the thing, she has said she doesn't wanna share what kind it was, and I respect that. I feel like that's none of my
sure.
business if she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But even when I intuitively try to tune in, because 'cause I'm like, "I'm still nosy as hell, you guys." I may not say it on YouTube, what if I see, because if she said she doesn't wanna say, she doesn't wanna say. I can't get anything either. So, my
Yeah.
guess would be what you just said,
Mhm.
based on her symptoms, but, you know, I feel like she's gonna be, in her 80s before she leaves the planet? Possibly not, but her energy looks good, her colors look good, and she's having this has done a lot of good because it's drawn a lot of attention to it. I'm sure a lot of people went and got their lady bits checked after,
After that.
she after that,
Well,
which was very good. She could have saved who knows how many people.
and
Somebody
I feel as if her, you know, she might be how do I say this? Like, this may have happened to her at a good time because I feel like we're gonna have some big breakthroughs, in this next, decade, and she may benefit from those,
Oh,
right?
I love that. We'll talk about that. What if you 'cause we've talked about some nice, like, negative stuff that makes people wanna take a shower after. What have you seen that's good?
Sorry, kitty tail back
No,
in the in the
that's a good
picture.
thing. I love it, love it,
This
love it,
little
love it.
guy, he's attracted to his grandmother. He's my
Oh,
grandcat.
I love
Um,
it.
so, I feel like it's almost gonna be like boom, 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 like these big breakthroughs. Do you feel that way?
I do, especially with the big C.
Me
Um,
too. Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna be doing something. I might be wrong, you guys, and maybe you say it differently, but I feel like it's gonna have something. It's gonna seem similar to a vaccine. I'm careful not to use that word. I think we use
A
that word now, but I'm not
vaccine.
sure.
Yep.
Vaccine,
Yes.
where you have this particular version of it. Um, there's an injection you get. Your body sees that as not self and goes in and
Yes.
attacks it.
Yeah.
I see it being something like that for lots of different kinds.
Nanotechnology? Excuse me, nanotechnology kind of rings a bell for me, and I feel like it's similar. So it's like they inject us with these nano bits that go and hunt down and
Ooh, your answer is better than mine. I like
yeah,
it.
I don't know,
Yours is more
it could
interesting.
be I don't know, it feels like that. It may be a little more in the future, but I feel like it's not far. Also feel, having practiced energy medicine for a
Mhm,
long time,
mhm, mhm.
um, I feel as if we're gonna see some success with, like, vibratory energy. Excuse me. And that could be light, that could be sound. I feel like more sound.
Ooh, I
Um,
like it. Yeah.
and so I feel like they're gonna really kind of make some advances there as well. Sound energy, and, in the energy world, the old saying is, "Like cures light." Like,
Mhm.
so if you can find a match for that the energy of the disease, I'm sorry,
I just wanna play with your cat.
he's
I want her
just
to come
so
over to my house and say, like,
cute. There he
"Okay,
is.
that's perfect.
Uh-huh.
Go for
He's
that."
he's got his claws dug in, but I feel like we're gonna be seeing a lot of that.
It's
Sorry.
interesting, you're not the first guest who said that. Michelle Mache was on a guest on a couple of months ago, said the same thing, that there was gonna be that it was gonna have to do with sound, was gonna end up, being a big help
Yeah,
and healing, and
yeah,
that she felt like Western medicine and sort of the alternative medicine was me working together more closely, which I love. I love
mhm.
that idea.
Yeah,
Um
it's almost like lying in a I don't know why I'm seeing, like, lying in like a tanning bed kinda thing with the
Mhm.
sound all around us or in an egg or something like that. that just kind of brings our vibrational frequency, hello kitty, up to or back up to optimal. Right.
I love
Oh,
it.
look,
I love
he
it. I love
just
it.
wants to be on
Yeah,
yes.
he's just you guys send the cat some love. Last thing I wanna ask about, and then we'll see if I wanna make sure that there's anything I didn't think to ask. I would love to ask you about the midterms. I
Mm.
forgot to ask about that. That's the obvious one. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, my fear gets in the way a little bit there, just from a practical standpoint, and I'll tell you why. Because after the 24 elections, I had another one of those crazy, very realistic dreams. Um, and I could see, maybe it was symbolic, but I could see somebody walking through what I felt was the Georgia polling place at the time that they had called those bomb threats. It
Mhm.
was empty, and I could see somebody, excuse me, walking through, and I felt like there was some kind of, like, electronic or, like, RFID sensor bracelet on them that they would pass by the machines, and it would download a new algorithm or something like that. I know that sounds really, really nutty.
No,
Really crazy.
it's a dream for allegedly for entertainment
It was
purposes
a
only.
dream, but it
Um
also showed and very, very I mean, I knew in the dream that EM, right, Leon was involved. It had something to do with satellites, and then later I read about these low Earth satellites that he put them into space at the end of October 2024, right before, and these are called direct to cell satellites. I learned about this later after the dream, and so they said that these machines were outfitted with some kind of, like, cellular receiver, and so anyway, that I know I have a big C for conspiracy on my head and, a little bit crazy, but I will say this, I do worry about their ability to hack the election again, but I think it's gonna be blue. I'm trying to push my fear out of the way though, because I think that there is, I think that there are some pretty big tricks up their sleeves. So what do you see?
Yeah, it's interesting because I mean, you're talking about a fear that a lot of people have, and we're all reflecting that fear that there's been a fear so even since I was a kid that the election process will get interfered with in some way. I
Really?
definitely have seen that. I felt like it was just going to be one, House and Senate. I can think maybe they flip the House. I am seeing that I was seeing that we would at least one for sure, and that the other one maybe. I was not getting that it was gonna be a landslide that I know some people are seeing. I was definitely seeing that it was gonna be really close, like skin of the teeth, like
I
everybody
kind
needs
of
to be
feel that too. Yeah.
everybody does need to be waiting in line if they need to in the rain to go cast that ballot.
Yeah.
And the mail-in ballots being sent in like the day you get it in the mail, because of the way they're shifting it's getting postmarked. They're not counting it for when it was postmarked, they're counting for when they processed it, and
Yeah.
just like sneaky stuff like that. But I think it'll be
Yeah.
too big of a
And
turnout.
I think that the problem is there are so many ways. It's not just one method of, you know, tampering with elections. It's many. And in fact, I've even seen in my own neighborhood, I live in Denver, like I said, I have seen they have been pulling up, removing mailboxes everywhere because we have all mail-in ballot here.
Yeah, us too. Yeah.
And they all have been I mean, like, some of the major post offices, had, like, a bank of, boxes out in front where you just drop your mail through. They're gone. They're just gone, and I don't see the point. I don't know understand why it's any you know anyways, so there's something that I'm but just we have to be careful. We all have to engage. We all have to be, um, involved in the process, whoever you want, So
Yeah, I always find it
I'm
interesting
sorry
though when
about
we
this little baby.
no, What I always find interesting, I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if it's gonna show up on YouTube, but when we talk about these kinds of things, the pixels always get a little weird on the guest every time the guest talks about that particular issue.
Oh.
I don't know if that showed up on your side, or I could see it on mine.
Okay.
Let's not end it on that note. Is there anything in particular that I didn't think to ask you that you want to talk about that will give people hope and make people feel like it's going to be okay? Because I feel like it's going to be okay. I feel like it's going to be a rough 2026 is going to be a little rough, but I feel a lot of people are going to be making some massive shifts in their businesses and their jobs, their directions, and that it will start to really pay off 2026, 2027. What do you think? What do you see?
Well, okay, so I'll just carry on what you said. I have been feeling for a couple of years, really for about 2 or 3 years now, that collectively we're all being kind of moved one way or the other toward, into a space like either geographically or with
Totally
our
agree.
jobs
Totally.
into a place that actually resonates with us, that feeds our souls, that's actually really that is meaningful to us, right? Like get your life in order. Basically. Easier said than done. But really, like if you feel drawn to move, back to your hometown, do it. If you feel, and I don't feel like it's anything tragic that's going to happen, but I just feel like we're being moved by the universe into the place that we are going to be most spiritually aligned and universally aligned for the new whatever is coming for us. Because I do think this year is kind of a very big kickoff to that new earth energy that people have been talking about for forever. I don't think it's going to be a massive explosion or anything.
I don't see that either. Yep, I agree. Don't see that either. I love what you just said too, because that is so great. People being physically moved to a place where people are more aligned. I also see, Kelly, with you, and actually you personally, I think, I'm not trying to tune in, but I just couldn't help it. I got a flash of this one. So I know it's not okay to tune into somebody unless they've given permission, by the way, but unless it's a public figure. But anyway,
see your prophecy on the camera.
I was just going to say, I do see a lot of people creating groups. I mean, a lot of people have, and expanding groups that they already have. And so your tribe may not be in your physical location. Your tribe may be on the ethers because your tribe is a collection of people who live in, 40 different states, right?
Right. I mean, that's true. And I feel like, in its infinite wisdom, the vid that came along a couple years ago and moved us all online has enabled that, right? I mean, it's enabled that, and it's one of the positive side effects that we are actually, connected with people all across the globe. But I also feel like it's both. I want to say too, I feel like we're also really being asked to tune into our community, to become more community based and really work with your neighbor, your friend, get to know the guy who has the pastry shop down the street or the coffee shop, the little individual guys. We're kind of going back to, it feels a little bit, now I don't know if it feels a little bit like the little villages from old, or the commune kind of thing. Like we're all living together in a space where, I'm making, dinner this week and you're going to chop the wood that week. You know what I mean? That's a little simplified, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
but I love what you're describing though, because we can all tap into the energy of what you're saying, whether it's literally that, it's the communal sense of us all being in it together, right? Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Exactly, right? And we all work together to, if you need something, I'm going to give it. If I need something, you're going to give it. I do feel like we're going to kind of get to that, to use an old phrase from a former president, a kinder, gentler, time, right? I do think we're going to return to that after the ickiness passes, and it's going to take a little bit.
I love that. I was just thinking about my neighbor who's much more conservative than I am. Big sign in his yard that I didn't have in my yard. And we had just moved here and there was a big hailstorm coming through, and he knocks on our door and he says, your car's in your driveway. And I'm like, yeah. Was there a problem with that?
Where would it be?
Where else would you, where would you put yours? He's like, you got to put it in the garage. There's a hailstorm coming. I'm like, it's fine. I didn't know I didn't know what Portland hail was like. You put that car in the garage or you're going to have golf ball size, like hole in the roof.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He saved us, you know?
Oh, we have the same. Okay. We're considered the hail capital of the world. I didn't realize you guys had it too.
I didn't know. I mean, because I'm from Southern California. I hail, what's that? It's pretty. I see it on TV. It's not, I didn't know what it actually did.
Yeah. That's why our insurance rates are sky high on our cars here, because we get these hailstorms in the summer.
Sorry.
Now, I will say this. Okay, let me just go back a little bit. I know we're about an hour, but I want to just say, I also, again, I see these, well, maybe it's because I'm experiencing it right now, but I do see climate change regionally. I feel like we're going to, kind of brace for whatever your area is. There may be some things where in your area that you're not accustomed to. Like, for instance, it has been in the 60s, 60s Fahrenheit here almost all the way through December and now into January, like t-shirt weather. Like, go out, heading out in your t-shirt in Denver.
And we are not in Southern California.
It is.
I know you're not in Southern California because I asked you.
No, this is Denver, Colorado. We're at a mile high here. And normally, in the past, so I'm seeing, big changes regionally where I do think, we're going to have to really the coasts are going to have to look at water very carefully, and some of those, so that's one thing that I think we need to be, and I think that is going to force us to move too.
Interesting. Yeah, you might be right.
This feels a little more out in the future.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think it's coming. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Kelly, is there anything you want to leave us on? I'll give you the last word.
Oh my gosh, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on your channel. It's been a pleasure. Yes, thank you.
So, Kelly, I'm going to put your information in the description so you guys can just click on it, but people like to hear it. Where can they find you?
Yes. Okay. Well, I offer readings. I do mediumship and, psychic work as well as healing work. And you can find that on my YouTube, my website at kellyhealing.com. And you can see I spell Kelly with just a Y.
Like the regular way?
No, the regular way, no fancy way. So kellyhealing.com. I also have a YouTube channel that is exactly as you see spelled here, Kelly, the Mystic Next Door. And I do a couple of shows each week. I actually have several lives. I have a couple lives each week, and then sometimes some recorded things and some collabs with people like you. But I do live readings almost every Saturday morning. And so if anybody is interested in a little mini reading, I do that. And I also do a little bit of astrology, the weekly tarot scopes on Sunday nights. And then the dowsing rods. And these are a fan fave. People like to come on and ask questions, and they're really fun. So I usually do those every other week. I'm a little off from the holidays, but I'm due for one this week. So those are current events questions usually.
Kelly, you're busy.
I'm busy, and I'm a business owner too. So I don't know. I don't know who does my business. Yes, so busy.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Thank you.
You guys, thank you so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Please like and subscribe. And, just know that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Neither one of us sees the world coming to an end. Neither one of us sees everybody, scrambling for resources. Yeah, you won't be able to get the best things that you want. And maybe you might, eventually struggle to find a particular brand of tire if you're looking for it. But I use that as an example a lot because that happened to me. Like, I couldn't get Pirelli tires and I needed them. And anyway, this was during the 2020s, early 2020s incident. But You guys, it's going to be okay. And I appreciate all of your comments and your kind words. Please go to Kelly's channel and subscribe. She's got a lot more content than I do. I'm impressed. Respect.
Really?
Love it. You put a lot of stuff up, and you get a lot more videos than I do, you guys.
Oh, thank you.
I love you guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.